My beautiful souls, and welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Friday! I'm very grateful that we made it to Friday. It was this week had a very interesting feel to it. Time seemed to go fast, yet it seemed to feel a long week. It had an interesting vibe this week, and it was extremely busy, at least on my end. I am going to do just a brief energy update because I feel like I need to talk about the energy coming in this weekend, and I'm hoping that it doesn't linger too long. It's going to be a really good weekend to mind your business. There's a little bit of a grouch, cranky vibe that's coming in, and perhaps you're already feeling that yourself or seeing it with people around you. There's an energetic exhaustion that is floating around that is just causing a little bit of crankiness, a little bit of agitation, a little bit of irritation, and it's going to be really, really good weekend to be mindful about what we're diving into, about how we're getting involved, and sometimes we just really have to make sure that we're in our own lane, cheering for people in our own lane, and kind of really watching how energetically nosy you're being, and staying out of what doesn't necessarily have to be involved, what you have to be involved in. It's a really good weekend to mind your business, and that also includes kind of minding your business on social media. Just just kind of, just really remember that I said it. It might be you, and it might be people around you that have this crank, this grouch going on, and it is a bit of, it is a release. People are releasing, people are frustrated. There's a lot going on, so it's a good weekend to ground yourself, find some peace and quiet, give yourself a break, and just kind of stay out of the grouch. Watch the cranky. It just feels like it's gaining a little bit of momentum. I myself, I'm really grateful to be on a farm tomorrow, and animals, don't tend to be as cranky as humans, so I'm looking forward to having that part of my energy. But just kind of remember that I said it. Watch your awareness. Mind your business is gonna be the best advice that I can give you this morning. And it is coming from, frustration. People are frustrated, right? So that's kind of like the main vibe of it. But heads up, I feel it coming in, and I feel like it's gaining momentum. So let's grab some Ask the Medium questions, because I love hanging out and asking your questions and helping you. Dee Dee, and this morning I have a question. Our dog Axel is nearing the end of life. It's hard to see him not eat. Can you feel into his energy and give me an idea if I'm missing anything? I don't feel like you're missing anything. I feel like you're the opposite. I feel like you're right on top of everything. I also feel, Dee Dee, that you're picking up on him preparing you, like he's preparing you for, like, I've had a great life, and I am nearing the end stage of my life. I also feel, Dee Dee, that I'm really in your gut space. I feel like he's communicating with you, like, really intuitive, rather than thoughts or images. Animals communicate in many different ways. Sometimes it's, intuition, sometimes it's telepathic, or heart space, messages. I feel like intuitively you're gonna know that, today's my day to cross over. I feel like he's gonna give that to you. I feel like he's preparing you, and I don't feel like you're missing anything. Celebrate him over the weekend. Really, really honor, really kind of celebrate, really spend some time, because I don't feel well at all, and I feel like he's quite close. And big hugs to you, Didi. I know that's probably really hard to hear. It's hard when we're preparing to say goodbye to our fur babies. I'm also sending you, Didi, just a great big squeeze. You're not alone, and you're well supported. Good morning, everybody here. There's quite a few of us joining. Oh boy, that explains the kids. Yeah, kids respond to the energy, that collective energy as well. The grouch. So, we may have to pack some extra patience. That might be some good advice, and kind of support, but in your own lane is the best advice I can give you guys. I also have a dad. If I don't often interrupt the Ask the Mediums with a spirit randomly like this. I have a dad that's poked his head through. Alzheimer's dementia was a big part of his passing, and I felt he was cognitively impaired for quite a while. I feel like he battled this for quite a while. The month of May is significant anniversary birthday of passing, as is October. If anybody knows this lovely gentleman, please just chime in, and I'll watch for that acknowledgement. Jasmine, hi Lana. Good morning. Does my cousin Heather Colleen father have any messages? I just want to have a lean into that. So is your cousin struggling right now? I feel like he's coming in with a lot of support. Like when spirit shows me my support beams, and it's a lot of supportive energy. And I feel like he's supporting not just her, but I feel like there's some family support there. I also feel like I need to say to her, lean into that support. I don't know if she doesn't necessarily lean into feeling supported, but I feel like she needs to lean into some support there. I'll wait for your some validation there, Jasmine. Excuse me, sorry. Jules, Lana, my husband's sister passed away a couple of months ago, and he's wondering if she has any messages for him. Jules, I feel like I'm getting a lot of kind of fun little just, and it's just kind of like really light right now. I think she'll turn the volume up with the spirit activity. Little things like flicking lights, or has he felt like a little tap on his shoulder, and no one's there? I just felt like something brush up against me. I feel like she's going to be a little bit of a prankster with him. I feel like she's trying to lighten up the energy around him. I also feel and just a little bit of evidential mediumship here for you, Jules. I feel like the month of November is significant anniversary, birthday, or passing, and she's also showing me the number 3. So either the one of 3 or March is a significant month. I also feel she keeps saying he needs to take his time. So I don't know if he's been extra busy, or if it's headspace stuff. I feel like she's trying to slow him down a little bit, and it comes back into feeling slow down and feel the feels. So I don't know if he's just been trying to keep himself busy, or isn't giving himself enough time to process things. But she's trying to slow him down. There's also, is there a reference to the name Mike or Mark? There's something significant with a male energy M name, and I feel like that energy is like she's pointing here. So that's my sign for living. I also feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. So there's got to be something that's kind of heavy with them, and I feel it's separate from her passing. I feel like it's something separate, because I just feel, and I feel like he's been carrying the weight of the world for a little bit. Let me know if that resonates there for you, Jules. Bianca, good morning. I'm trying to get approved next year for student teaching at a school in my town that I want to work at. How will this process go? Because I'm supposed to do it next year. I'm just leaning into the energy there with that, Bianca. If you can just give me a moment. Um, Bianca, I feel a little bit uncertain with it. I don't feel terrible. I just feel a little bit uncertain with that. It almost feels like right to the last minute you get an answer on. So I'm just curious, and I'm not sure where you're from, Bianca, but I'm just curious if school ends sooner than it does here. I just feel like there's a bit of a pause and a delay with a response on that. It feels good, but I also need to. Have you considered applying at another school, or is there something separate that, or something else that you're going to teach? There seems to be something secondary that's kind of going to perk its head. Just kind of remember that I said it. I really do feel a little bit of unsure, and I've said this before. I don't always get 100% of the answers all the time. Sometimes we're not meant to be given everything all the time. I don't feel bad with it. I just feel like there's something, either a pause or a secondary position or offering, is kind of how that feels there. River, morning. Hope you're all doing well. I have a bunch of questions rolling around my head, but what is it Spirit really wants me to know? River, I feel like right now in this red hot moment, I feel like I need to kind of say to you, you're doing the best that you can from where you're standing. I also feel like I've got to lift off some of this pressure that you put on yourself, or shift the pressure that you're putting on yourself. You're doing the best. You're doing your best, and I feel like you're always doing your best. And Spirit saying, like, they just handed me like what do you call that? Like a I can't believe I'm losing my words today. Um, looking closer at how well you're doing. I feel like I need to acknowledge how well you're doing. Like, it's almost like I need to take a deeper look. You're doing the best that you can from where you're standing, and I need to soften that a little bit. So just kind of soften that. It's not a microscope that I'm thinking, like a magnifying glass. There we go. I feel like I've got to like take a look. Like I feel like you find it hard to take a look or hard to really acknowledge how well you're doing, River. I hope that that resonates there with you. Man, the words sometimes when I'm in between physical and non-physical, I do struggle with finding the words. That's every now and again that happens. Shy, my mind your business has been happening already over here indeed. There you go. Shy, I really think it's gonna get turned up even more. There's a whole big mind your business energy coming in. And I literally said to spirit, okay, noted. Noted. I even journaled it in my own journal. Mind your business. I would love messages meant for me at this time. Olivia, I'm really pulled to grab a spirit animal out of my spirit animal book for you. I just really feel this is where I need to go. So not the entire phrase has to resonate, but there's a message here that should. And if it doesn't, just leave it here. It's that simple. Frog. Do a physical cleanse and detoxify your body. Do an emotional cleanse by letting yourself really feel your emotions and cry as much as you need to in order to clear and release any emotional toxicity. That's really good advice for all of us. If that resonates for more than Olivia, please pick that up. Singing or chanting out loud will help you feel more balanced, at peace, and connected to the divine. You're entering a time of plenty and abundance. This is the start of a slow and steady transformation process for you, a movement from the old life into a new one. If you're near a frog during the daytime, it will rain very soon. Um, I really like that message. So, a lot of letting go, a lot of letting go. Singing and chanting also, I just want to add to this message. Singing and chanting also clears our throat chakra, Olivia, or anybody else that resonates with that, with needing to clear their throat chakra. So, if you have trouble with speaking your truth, it's a really good exercise to kind of sing or chant or hum, anything that kind of moves that throat area a little bit. I hope that that resonates there with you, Olivia, and anybody else that that resonates with. It's okay to resonate with with the information that spirit gives us. Emma, update on baby girl. She's great and healthy and 2 months old now. Any messages from my ancestors about her? I feel like they talk to her. Absolutely, they do. And congratulations there, Emma. And thank you for the update on the sweet baby girl. Emma, I feel like it feels quite a ways back. So either great grandmother. I also feel like the month of October is significant to someone in the family. I can see her literally like tucking that baby in, like just kind of like straightening out like the sleeping sheets. I just feel like she's like checking in. I also feel, and babies do connect. Babies and young children are very, very much connected to the spirit dimensions. So just watch that little baby to be cooing or smiling in a space, like usually like looking away from you, because they see spirit and they connect with spirit, and spirit guides are, our littles here. Our ancestors are very much guiding us as well as spirit guides, even if we didn't know them. Even, like if we never even met your grandmother or great grandmother or great great grandmother, they connect and guide us, and they're part of our journey, and we're part of their journey. Because when you think about all the how things have changed throughout the generations in your own family, they started paving that way, and they did the best that they could for the most part with what they knew and what they had as well. So they're here helping and guiding. But just June, just kind of keep an eye on that baby kind of cooing or looking at something that nobody else seems to be seeing. But I always appreciate these kinds of energetic warnings. Yes, I do too. I always say to spirit, thank you for that. No heads up noted. And goddess of happiness, hello dear. In these days, I feel so great, sometimes totally relaxed and carefree, despite the turmoil in my thoughts sometimes. I don't know why. Um, it sounds very much that you're grounded, and I can relate to what you're saying. There's a lot of chaos in the world, and I tend not to feel it or worry about it. I also lean in to the other side of that. So I think that you're kind of connecting to a grounded energy. I think that your own awareness is fully connected to things are going to be okay. We're right where we need to be. The physical world is learning, and we're going to get there. We're going to figure it out, and it does have a very calming effect. Okay, it's so I think you're either intentionally grounding yourself or unintentionally just connecting. Not everything we do, is like, okay, I'm going to sit and ground myself. Sometimes we're just more grounded, or we've been practicing our spiritual tools for long enough that we're just naturally doing it now. I hope that resonates there with you. Mimi, good morning, Lana. Any messages from my spirit guides? Yeah, Mimi, I feel like I need to start tasting different things. I feel like I need to explore. Not everything has to resonate with you, and I don't know if if you lean a little bit on being afraid to make a mistake, or kind of like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I feel like I need to taste. Your spirit guides are showing me it doesn't always have to resonate with you. It's okay if it doesn't really work out, but taste, try new things, try and explore, try a new book, try, it doesn't have to be big and huge, but I feel like I needed to say, just they're trying to get you to explore. Joanne, any messages from me from spirit, please? Joanne has a vibration. I'm just hearing a lot of laughter around you, so I don't know if it's you that's laughing, or if it's just like, or if it's a reference to like laugh more. I just hear all this beautiful belly laughing, and it's absolutely glorious. And I feel like you've been growing spiritually. I feel like this expansion within you, and every now and again you kind of look back, and it's okay to reflect, absolutely. But I feel like I just really need to embrace. There's just something that you've been really gaining momentum on energetically and spiritually. And I really feel like there's more coming. I also feel, Joanne, have people been coming to you for guidance? I just feel like a lot of people are coming to you for like, what should I do? What do you think? And I feel like you're leaning more on spiritual guidance and kind of helping people navigate and find their way. And I just have to say, remember to recharge from that, because sometimes we forget to recharge from that. So make sure that you're plugging yourself back in. And if it's not happening for you right now, just remember that I said it. People are coming to you for advice and guidance, and number one, you hold in a very non-judgmental space. I feel like there is not an ounce of judgment that look at people and judge. So people are starting to come to you, and they're coming to you, and I think it's going to pick up momentum. I'm shy. I got two questions. First, do I need to hear something about my masculine feminine balance today? I feel like it's ongoing. So I feel like it's an ongoing balance. So I don't know, Shy, if you tend to go back to old habits or old patterns kind of easily, because I feel like I need to continue to balance that. I feel like you're improving being in balance with that. But I feel for the next little while, it's going to be something that you're going to have to effortly think about, being put in that divine masculine and that divine feminine in alignment. I also, Shy, and thank you for bringing this up today, because I want to talk a little, just for a moment, about masculine energy. I think masculine energy is really dominant right now, and it's really easy for us to get out of balance with it. So we need to kind of make sure that we're balancing that divine feminine and that divine masculine energy, so that we're connected to both. Although that makes sense. And both are good. Masculine energy is not a bad thing at all, but we have to keep it in balance with the softer divine feminine side. All right, there we go. So there goes my magic mouse squirrel. All right, there we go. Hey, Lana, going through some big transitions and have been having a lot of realizations lately. Any reassurance from my loved ones? So realizations are profound. It's like those little aha moments. It's that awareness of what I need to work on and what I'm doing great. And I feel like those realizations are coming to you right when you need them. So I don't know if you've been kind of stirring around with, why didn't I see that earlier? Or why didn't I change that earlier? Or why didn't I do that before? Is all about the right now. Right now, you're having aha moments, and these aha moments are going to shift you and help you. And I also feel like I need to say, and it comes back into what I mentioned earlier about minding your business. I think sometimes you need a little bit of alone time. Sometimes you may not use your alone time in always in a productive way. I think you need a little bit of alone time to help with the clarity. I think you're getting more and more clarity. And sometimes with clarity, we need to take a step back. I'm just going to step back over here. I'm going to process and think about it. And then I'm going to take action, or I'm going to shift or grow, or I'm going to move, either towards something or away from something. And I just feel like I need to just kind of whisper into your ear very lovingly. Always make sure that you're thinking for yourself. So I don't know if you tend to like get a lot of advice or seek a lot of advice, or people are coming at you. You should, you shouldn't. But I feel like I just need to remind you, take that time to think for yourself sometimes. Jennifer, my sister-in-law is getting married tomorrow and wondered if I can bring forward something from her dad. Jennifer, that's a beautiful question. That really is a beautiful question. What you can do is, and I do this, Jen. I'm going to do my best to explain it. Is the spirit dimensions? I mean, he'll definitely be there, and they're always here, but especially when it's when it's a big event. What I try and do, Jen, is I try to clear the physical lanes into more of a spiritual lane, so that people around can feel and it can feel them. So what I would do is I would literally visualize the spirit dimensions and the physical world at that wedding blending. And I think that like your sister-in-law will feel him herself, and people around will feel him. And it may present as somebody may talk about him, or if somebody, or it may just be an energy or a feeling. But I try to clear the debris, the physical world debris. And I just kind of allow and say to spirit, I'm going to hold the space and clear the debris so that their energy can come in, people around them can feel. I feel like with your sister-in-law, she needs to feel him. I feel like it needs to become like your gift to her is for her to feel him. So try clearing a little bit of the physical debris. Just visualize the flux or the static of the physical world, Jen, just parting into a different direction, or visualize the lane clear, like there's no static in the lane, so that this can happen. I do that all the time, and I'll tell you, it's magical to watch people feel it, and it may come as an emotion, it may come as an awareness, it may come that they can feel or hear their own loved one. I try to clear the energy that way, and it really helps them to be able to connect for themselves. And Jen, I just think what a heart space thing for you to think about for her. All right, Dee Dee, thanks. Lana, Roger had a dream last night that Shelby, or Shepherd who died last February, came to take Axel. Visitation from the spirit dimensions. Absolutely, Dee Dee, and that's what I mean with the awareness that his time is close. His time is close. Remember, my birthday is in May, and his passing was in October. That might be my grandfather. There's some validation for you, River. Absolutely. Tabitha, my stepdad had dementia and passed in October. Okay, here we go. There he is, because he's waiting patiently. So Tabitha, when like before the dementia, was he a very patient, or he's got this calm, patient energy from he just sat there, pulled up a seat, and kind of waited for someone to acknowledge him? Tabitha, I feel like there's a lot of cheering going on from him. Has there been some kind of family success? Like he's really cheering, like applauding. That was well done. Has something changed and it feels like it like very, very recently, Tabitha? Has something changed, or has something happened, like a big accomplishment? There's something there, and he's also claiming that he helped with that. So I'll leave that there with you, Tabitha. He also has a great big smile. Like he's like literally, he's like this. There's got to be something really big and positive that's happened there. Um, Jasmine, my cousin passed 2 years ago. Jasmine, is there something with that why am I hearing see you in September? Is there something in September? You know that song "See You in September"? For me, it's a September reference. It's not that there's something there with September that's very significant. I also feel, is there a John or a Jim name? I know your name, Jasmine, but there's another J name that he's trying to acknowledge, and I'll keep an eye for your response there. Mandy, good morning, coming your way. Good morning, on way your way. Oh, safe travels, darling. Mandy, I really feel a shift in how grounded you are. I feel like there's been this, um, when you dig deep, I just feel like there's this strength there, and I feel like there's been some shifting with you and your connection with spirit. It feels easy. It feels lighter. It feels like I'm connecting. Like the connection feels like there's a lot of healing between you and the spirit dimensions. And Mandy, you don't have to answer this on the chat, but we're spirit saying that were you upset with the spirit dimensions? Was there some frustration that you kind of let go of? Because they're saying it's okay. It's okay to be frustrated with spirit. It's okay to release and talk about your feelings. They're just acknowledging that they really appreciated you sharing. So there's something there, Mandy, that you had a conversation with, or release some frustration, and they're very much saying it's okay that you did that. So I don't know if you've been wobbling a little bit in that. Easy Puffland, I'm getting so tired of getting notifications of someone logging into my accounts. Is my dad doing it or using my brother's? Excuse me, sorry. Easy Puff, I really feel this physical world. So I don't feel that this is spirit logging in. I feel like Easy Puff, doing a really good security check, whether that means changing passwords. I'm concerned that this is physical world. I don't feel this as spirit. Every now and again, yes, spirit does, glitch our technology. Spirit does mess with us that way. I'm not feeling that here at all. I am 100% physical world. So I feel like I need to say to you, and whatever it is that you have to do to increase or protect your accounts, I need to do that. Maruna, much love towards you, Dee Dee. Oh, look at all the support for Dee. I had to let my cat go this month. I understand and send you blessings to your fur baby. Oh, Maruna, this group is actually so awesome. Angela, let me just see if I can feel that, because the man with dementia that was sitting next to me has gone back over, so I think I must have connected him. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Angela's mom passed as well, because when I asked for dad to kind of step forward, I get both him and mom. So, or there's a mom or mother figure for you that connects with him. I also have to talk about the month of February, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. And I also feel I just feel so much movement and dancing energy around you. Have there been some things that have been really been kind of like, or more flowy? Because it feels like I'm flowing, but I'm moving my feet, and they're pointing to here. So there's got to it's not them, it's here. So there's got to be some kind of flowing. Has there been something new that you've been flowing through, or is the energy that you've been kind of going through right now very very flowy? Because they're loving how things are flowing. So there's something there with flowing. There's also something, and I'm not sure, Angela, where I am, but I feel like I'm uh, um feel like I'm north. I feel like the energy is peaceful and calm. I can see, like, like the tree lines and water. And I just feel so flowy there. I feel like things are flowing, and I just feel such a soft energy around. And I just feel like I feel like that's something that you've either really connected to lately, or you've increased the flow or the calm. And I just feel like they're saying, stay there, stay in that calm, stay in that flow. And I feel really happy. So I feel like something has shifted with happiness. So has there been more joy or more happiness, either around you or around the family there? I just feel a lot of joy, if that makes sense. Aaron, I gotta watch the time, you guys. Oh, it's not quite 9. Okay, good. Aaron, curiosity question. Do you ever feel masculine energy and it turns out to be a woman, or vice versa? Yes, Aaron. So really good question. So when I channel, and I was doing a reading last night, and it was really this just happened. The energy felt feminine, and I had so much validation, even names. And I said to the person that was in for a reading, I said, like, am I describing their energy? And he was like 100%, extremely soft, extremely gentle, really in tune with that the feminine energy. And feminine and masculine energy has absolutely zero to do with gender or anything to do, nothing, or sexuality or nothing. It's energy. It does happen, on occasion, where I feel a really soft feminine energy. The other thing is with relationships with people, which is why I will go mother, mother figure, father, father figure. If I was to see a reader and they channeled my dad, my birth father is alive, but I do have someone who was like a dad, and he shows up in every time I go for, if I go, I haven't gone for a reading for a long time, but if a student practices on me, In he comes, and the validation is huge. Like, names, dates, places, they will pick that up on him. But he was a father figure. He was a really good friend that turned into like a dad to me, and he comes through that way. So that's why I always say to people, it's the energy. Energy feels a certain way. So people can feel really soft and have a feminine feeling, but they might be male. Right. So it doesn't always connect. And, I've had 25 years of feeling through that energy. And even still, like it happened last night, I was describing someone, they felt like a feminine energy, and they weren't feminine. Great question there, Aaron. Great question. Easy Puff, I got a bizarre follower on TikTok. It is it my dad? And did he or someone find out I use the exact name or part of the account? I'm not sure, Easy Puff, if it's your father or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel that if and here's the thing. Your intuition and your spidey senses is loud and proud. So if you're feeling that, if you've got concerns, just trust it. Like intuition 101, good feels good, bad feels bad. If you're feeling that, I feel like I need to say, trust it, just trust that. Change your usernames or close the account and try something, to start another account. I'm not 100% sure, Easy Puff. I don't get a hard yes or no on if it is or him or not. Um, Lisa, good morning. Are there any messages from my mom and dad? Are they proud of me? Spirit is always proud of us. And they're always with us. They're even proud of us when we're struggling because we're learning. They have a completely different perspective. Like, and I mean, we all struggle, we all learn, we all trip and fall, and spirit has a completely different point of view on that. Because when we cross over, and it's like, oh, that's what the journey was all about. They get all that knowledge, and we're still here trying to muddle through our stuff. So they are always supportive. They're always aware that we're learning, and they're always helping us find our way through our learning. um any message from mom and dad? Lisa, just a few little things. I got to talk about the month of August, and I got to talk about the month of February, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. I also feel like you feel them around you. Even though you may question it, I feel like you feel them, and feeling them may come to you as suddenly thinking about them, or actually, oh, I feel them. They're showing me that you're aware when they're around, and they're always around. But I feel like you're feeling them, and they're just saying, trust that. I also feel there's something with. Are you one of three? I'm on because Mom's holding up the three. So either are you one of three, or is the month of March significant anniversary, birthday, or passing? Um, And I really feel like I need to just gently remind you that they're aware that you always did your best. You always did your best. And I don't know, were you sitting with one of your parents? Because I know you were there, and I can see hands doing this. I knew you were there. Bianca, I got rocky or delayed, but it will serve you well. Thanks, Jen, for helping out there. All right, you guys, a couple more, and then I gotta go. Look at Wes. Wes, thanks for helping out there. Look at you guys helping each other out. I had a setback in my studies, and it brought me down. Does spirit have something to say about that? Gentle with yourself. Gentle with yourself. You're learning. And I don't I feel like I feel like you've already picked yourself up and dust yourself off, and I feel like you're going to work through it, and I feel like you've got the strength, and I feel like we all have moments with our learning that we struggle, and I just feel like I need you to just allow yourself to continue to go forward. You had a moment. Angela, it sounds like my dad with dementia, his great granddaughter being born right now. Oh, that's huge. Okay, there we go. Brad, hope you're well, dear Lana. I would love to know about my dad and if he's aware of all the ups and downs. Bride, absolutely. They are aware. Spirit is aware of our and helps us. And even if helping us means they're standing right beside us while we go through our ups and downs, right? The spirit can't necessarily fix everything for us. And I've had this conversation with spirit over and over again. Like, can't you just do something about this? And they're like, no, this is part of your learning. This is part of our physical world. We can go with you and we can hold your hand and we can cheer for you and we can help. But there are some things in this physical world that spirit and our spirit guides can only walk with us through. I also feel, Brad, um, that I'm just having a listen here. With the downs, I feel like you handle things very similar to dad. Does that make sense to you, Brad? I feel like you've got like either very similar energy to dad or that ability to kind of like keep on going, keep on swimming kind of feeling. And I feel and I also have to say, Brad, there's also something with the resemblance. Do you look a lot like dad? He's trying to show me that you're a lot alike. Does that make sense to you there, darling? I also feel, Brad, that it's like rolling up your sleeves and forward you go. It is going to get easier. And Brad, just kind of remember that I said it. Something seems to be lightening up. This, like, I feel like it's like spring, summer. I feel like there's an ease or a slowdown of the energy. I also feel, Brad, that I got to talk about you're connecting to your dad more than you did before. So I feel like he's saying I'm hearing him. I'm connecting with him. He's doing this like a sign for connection from there to here. I feel like you're connecting more with him. All right. I know there's a ton of questions here, you guys, and I really appreciate you. My mother met someone who said she was a medium. Now I know that's completely possible, but I trust you more. Bless. So is it real or just someone playing around? Um, I'm not quite understanding. If you can just clarify what you mean by is it real? I'm not understanding. Either I missed a question or I'm not quite sure. Kayla, how I resonate. Wow, I resonate with that. I got so mad at spirit and felt like I shut them out. I feel bars. I feel bad. Don't feel bad, Kayla. Spirit knows that we're frustrating and we're struggling and we have our moments. And, I haven't in a very long time, but about, mm, let's see, 17, 18 years ago, I literally shut spirit off. I was so upset. I was so mad. I was like, okay, I'm out. Don't talk to me. I was so mad, Kayla. I was so angry. Um, and spirit knew I was struggling. And spirit, they never stepped back. But they did respect. That I didn't want to communicate. Um, but I needed to heal, and I needed to work through, and I needed to vent. And in the moment that I did that, it was like, okay, guys, I get it now. It's part of my learning. It's spirit knows our struggles, and they know that we don't have all the answers, and they know that we're learning here too. So Kayla, be gentle with yourself on that. And they're always there, and you can always go back, and you can always say, you know what, I'm really having a hard time. Can you help me understand? And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, Kayla. um okay, well, I know there's a ton of questions I didn't get to. I am going to try, and we'll see how my weekend goes. But I'm not here Monday, so I am going to try and pop on over the weekend. I'll try and post it on the community page. I am working this weekend, so when I am able to, I will come on and do the energy update for next week because I'm not here Monday. Okay, let's grab something from the. I feel like I got both books that need to be tapped into here today. 145. Yes, the changes you're considering making are divinely guided. You can deal with these issues confidently, knowing that the angels are helping you along the way. So we had a lot of questions today about guidance. Connect with your angels. There's a lot of decisions that many of us are making. I personally sit with spirit all the time, and I go with how it feels. If everything, I sit with spirit with everything. I just literally sit. I invite them to sit with me. I ask, I just say, "Here it is. What do you think?" And just trust how you feel. And if you need more time to sit with it, take more time to sit with it. But lean in with your spirit guides. It's extremely, extremely helpful. And now I can hear you. You guys are just saying, well, how do I know I'm not making that up or I'm not just hearing myself? When we trust the guidance and we trust the learning and we trust the experiences, it just has a feeling, and being okay with things not going as planned. We tend to not want the hard stuff, and I don't either, guys. I don't like the hard stuff either. But we do have to kind of lean into sometimes we're going through it, and how we go through it is the most important. I get it, you guys. We do all struggle with I wanted that to go better. And I always look for the learning. All right. Oh, Jasmine, my uncle, my sorry, I just seen it there. My uncle's name was John, and he died May 3rd. Um, just want to see if there's anything else there, Jasmine. Jasmine, I feel like he's helping right now. So is there something going on that he just kind of like picked up like helping tools. He picked up a bunch of tools and he's helping rebuild. So is there something going on, Jasmine, with rebuilding? And I'll keep an eye on the chat. I can't say how much longer, but when I leaned in there, I feel like I'm helping rebuild something. Dragon. Oh, I love dragon. I do. I love dragon energy. You're emerging into a new phase of your life, one where you'll be taking more risk and be more vulnerable. Yet you can be well protected. Yet you can be well protected. Do more of the kinds of activities that bring you passion in your life. You have a past life connection to a time when earth-based spiritual practices were predominant. We're heading back into that, by the way. You're entering into a period of considerable prosperity. Prosperity has come up a couple times today. It came up in the animal that I chose earlier for who I think it was Olivia. Spend some time regularly in meditation or contemplation, and you'll receive some valuable insights and inspiration. Sit with it. Take things to spirit. We literally just had that chat. Take it to spirit. Sit with your spirit guides, and it's really, really easy. There's no wrong way of doing it. Just literally have a seat. Ask them to sit with you. You eyes open, eyes closed. It doesn't matter. You can, and whatever resonates with you. Light a candle, or just simply, prayer is another way. If you resonate with prayer, please help me. Whatever resonates with you, but sit with it. Sit with spirit and build that bridge and build your relationship with connecting with them. And how do you get there? Trust. It's trust. That is the biggest thing. When we trust, the connection seems to get, stronger and stronger and stronger. And if you feel like you need to take your time and sit with spirit more than once on one occasion, I do that. I do that. So I go to council, and so I go through meditation. You don't have to, but I go through meditation, and I've like, okay, here I am. Here's my question. It's like, Lana, you asked that 4 times this week. We're not changing our mind. And I just kind of chuckle. Okay, I'm gonna go back and sit with it and wait till I'm ready. I'm gonna wait till I'm ready. Okay, and it's okay to wait till I'm ready. I'm gonna feel it a little bit longer. But yeah, they've been like, yeah, this is how it feels to us. You've asked, and they do it in a very patient way. We're never bothering them. It's just kind of humor with me and my spirit guides, because I'm at council every single day, and sometimes I ask the same question because like I said before, there's no ceiling with, oh, you've hit maximum trust level. I'm still growing my trust level, right? All right, you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Is kind of, remember that I said it. You'll hear my voice. Mind your business. You don't. All right. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys.